part 2 to navigating administration. So now we're going to do monthly policies. So as mentioned before in viewing or navigating administration, now we're going to have a look at the monthly policy section. So as I mentioned before, when you open up Synaptic, it'll automatically load to you on view policies. That'd be the monthly once-off premium policy. But now we're going to move ourselves to monthly policies. Now, depending on your setup, you'll be either defaulting to one or two of the options. In most setups, everyone defaults to the VAP side. If you're only selling monthly, you will default to the monthly side. If you're selling both, you will only default to the VAP side. So now to get to the view monthly policies, you're going to click on view monthly. Again, search parameter looks exactly the same. All that's different here is that we do group schemes and per cell numbers if you're government employees. And now I would say we can search on ID number. Once the search is completed, it'll bring up the policy that you have searched, that you have now found yourself onto. Now, immediately we can see some information in here, and it tells you the basic information on the screen that you're looking at now. When we double click on the policy again, same mechanism works. The screen is slightly different, but not totally different. All that has changed here is that your simple information is still found on your left hand side, but your tab controller is now incorporated into the main screen. This is due to the fact that 9 times out of 10 you'll be doing a lot more work on monthly policies up front than you'll be doing on a VAP product from an administration point of view. So effectively what's going to happen, simple information is still name, surname, ID, telephone number, etc. and also policy initiation and also your address. So you can also flag it here if you'd like to. So high claimer or, client's a very nice client, whatever the case, whatever you'd like to put in there, you can put in there. And when you go into the client, it'll pop up that message. It'll always start on the product screen because 9 times out of 10 you will want to go to claim from here directly. However, we're not claiming today. We are going to be looking at administration principles. So from here we can do things like border letters if that pertains to you. Let's say you've got a short-term policy, or you've got perhaps a excess waiver that needs to go across border. You can now print out a border letter if it's been set up for your company. You can also look at the claim history here on this particular client. It pops it up here. We can return back. You can also change the initiation date if you so wish. But for now, we're going to leave that. We've covered this in the last section. We're then going to have a look at the edit client feature, which again will pop up in information so that you can edit the client if there's a change. Telephone number has changed, something has gone different on the client, maybe moved to a different location. You can edit that now from here. So after clicking edit client, your edit client feature will pop up and you can now make any changes you'd like to here. Your send SMS feature works exactly the same way as well. This is going to pop up a blank box so that you can send an SMS to the client. Your notes feature, again, exactly the same as your previous section. You can pop this up so that we can do a note here. Reason for viewing the policy number, we're going to say here for training purposes and recording our training video. Again, the more detailed the note, the better for you as an individual employee. We also look here, we can now set up that this must become a double debit. So if the client has missed their debit order and they want you to double debit at the end of the next month, you can click the double debit, which will then set it up to double debit this client the next month. You can also download all documents from here, cancel the policy, or just return back to the main screen. Now, we're not going to return for now. We're going to go into the next categories. If this is a policy that supports beneficiaries, we can now enter and load in the beneficiary here. Now, we're not able to load a beneficiary at this point because this product does not deem itself as a warranty to load into additional benefit. We can also load dependents if required. So this is a funeral or excess waiver. We can load in beneficiaries and dependents depending on what the limits of the policy are. The vehicle will pull through immediately as I've loaded it in the actual sale. And we can now sit here and edit the client if we have to edit something on the vehicle. Again, all these permissions depend on what permission you've been allocated from your UMA or from your company. And you can now edit either the year that it was sold, you can edit the kilometers, you can edit everything except for the VIN number, which will have to be changed manually. Once that's done, you get back into here and you'll see your changes have been affected. We can also do items. So these are risk items against the policy. So if you've got a normal comprehensive insurance cover, you can load high risk items in here, or item categories in here that is going to be covered per person or per item. And then your documents. Your policy document will be here. It just shows you that you've got your policy documents in play and what policy documents are available. And notes. So you can either access notes, and you can now add in more notes if you wish to. So this will add in whatever notes are going to happen, whether you are making a note on a change or whether you're making a note elsewhere. So this basically is how you view and how you navigate and how you administrate for a monthly policy. Thank you for your attention, and we'll speak to you shortly in the next component.